Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our fourth annual Small Business Health and Safety Leadership Awards. We're doing things a little differently this year, and I want to thank you for joining us and sharing some of your time this morning. For those who I haven't met before, I'm Rod Cook, Vice President of Workplace Health and Safety Services here at the WSIB. And I'm joined today by our Chair, Mrs. Elizabeth Whitmore, and our President and CEO, Mr. Tom Teehan, who we'll hear from in just a few moments. We're also grateful to have Dr. Cameron Mustard with us, President and Senior Scientist at the Institute for Work and Health, joining us for a conversation about his research into the business case for health and safety investments. Ontario's small businesses punch well over their economic weight, generating jobs and prosperity in communities across the province. So it makes sense to encourage conditions that allow them to thrive. For example, a recent federal investment of over $500,000 will let NORCAT, one of our program providers, establish a tech hub in Sudbury to help entrepreneurs and small businesses with economic recovery. That's great news, both for Sudbury area and for Ontario's overall long-term economic success. Strategic investments in infrastructure can lead to big returns down the road. But any astute business owner will tell you that the most important investment is the investment in people. When a business does everything it can to ensure people's health and safety in the workplace, it shows moral integrity in protecting fellow human beings and business acuity in protecting its investment. That's why, for example, Workplace Safety and Prevention Services, another health and safety excellence provider, as well as a nonprofit health and safety association, is implementing a pilot project that promotes a $49 enrollment fee for micro businesses, those businesses that have 5 or fewer employees. And it's why the WSIB launched the Small Business Health and Safety Leadership Awards back in 2017. By recognizing excellence in workplace health and safety, we hold up examples to be emulated and standards to be met and surpassed through competition. And what business person do you know who isn't a born competitor? Over the past week, we've unveiled the top 5 finalists in the competition. And in alphabetical order, here they are. Albany Retirement Village, Brick and Company Restoration Limited, Ronald McDonald House Charities, Ron H. Williams Drainage Incorporated, and Sexual Assault Center of Brant. Congratulations to all 76 of our applicants and to our 5 finalists. With these awards, we help celebrate the efforts and achievements of leaders in small businesses who make their workplaces healthier and safer, and who can inspire their peers by example. The workplace health and safety programs they implemented were judged in a rigorous process based on their performance in 5 categories: safety culture and leadership, inspections, hazard identification and control, quality of return to work programs, employee safety engagement survey results. The award winners today are true leaders and are setting the standard for years to come. I can tell you as one of the judges, there was stiff competition, and I would like to take this opportunity to recognize all the nominees and encourage everyone to keep doing what you're doing and striving to make your workplaces as safe and healthy as possible. I would now like to turn things over to our chair, Mrs. Elizabeth Whitmore, to say a few words.
Well, thank you, Rod. And I'd like to extend a very warm welcome to all those who have joined us today. As Rod said, this is the 4th year we're presenting these awards to recognize small businesses for their outstanding commitment, effort, and achievement to make their workplaces healthy and safe. I look forward to these awards every year because they shine a light on people whose commitment and attention to the health and safety of their employees are exemplary and inspiring. We know that safe and healthy workplaces are more productive and profitable. Safe work is sound business. A considerable body of research demonstrates that with statistics. The COVID-19 pandemic demonstrates it every time we leave our homes. From local neighborhood restaurants to family-owned retirement homes, Ontario's small businesses have had to adapt to meet the health and safety needs of both employees and customers during COVID-19, in what for many has been a time of declining revenues. Add on that mental health issues and ergonomic strains are on their rise due to isolation and working from home, and we are in what could be described as a perfect storm. Within days of the pandemic striking our province, we worked very quickly with the Government of Ontario to design a financial relief package that allowed any business to defer premium reporting and payments through to August the 31st. During this time, many of you running small businesses have had to take preventative measures to keep your employees, your customers, and your workplaces safe. Many business owners have found themselves wearing a new hat, that of the health and safety specialist. Businesses are having to apply new strategies to support well-being and safety in the workplace. And in communities across our province, many businesses have started to work together in creative partnerships and initiatives in the fight against the pandemic. Increasingly, employees are becoming active partners in this endeavor too. More and more, we are seeing that health and safety is being integrated into workplace culture. I believe that this growing culture of prevention will help see us through the current challenges to a healthier, safer, and more prosperous future. We have seen that when most people understand what is at stake and what they can do to protect themselves and others, they do it. We saw that over the 20 years with our Safety Groups program, which helped thousands of businesses in Ontario make their workplaces healthier and safer. Building on the success of the Safety Groups program, we launched our Health and Safety Excellence program 1 year ago, almost to the day, to expand our reach and help even more businesses build strong and healthy and safe management systems. This spring, we adapted the program in response to COVID-19 to help businesses become and remain ready for this and future pandemics. To date, almost 2,000 businesses representing approximately 700,000 employees have enrolled. That is truly encouraging. We are also here to support small businesses through the claims process and return to work strategies that have been complicated, I will say, by COVID-19. We will continue to support you throughout your health and safety journey. And with these awards today, we will continue to celebrate the efforts and achievements of leaders in small businesses who make their workplaces healthier and safer, and who can inspire their peers by their example. I'd like to extend my sincere congratulations to the 76 applicants who took the time to tell us how they are staying resilient within one of the most challenging times in living memory. And to our top 5 shortlisted nominees, I am eagerly awaiting with you the opening of the envelopes to see our winners. Thank you to all of you who are participating today for everything you do to keep people safe.
Thank you, Chair. We're all excited to see what names are going to pop out of those envelopes. But thank you, Chair, for being such a great supporter of health and safety and all that you've done for this province of Ontario. Thank you. I would now like to ask our President and CEO, Tom Teahan, to talk about what's ahead for small businesses that are investing in health and safety. Tom?
Thank you, Rod. Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you to celebrate this annual event now. And as I say, it just gets better every year. And thank you, Rod, to you and your team for all the work you do to pull it together. I think it's fair to say that most of us in Ontario interact regularly with small businesses. Across the province, small businesses are the economic cornerstone in our neighborhoods, in our towns, in our cities. And they often mean something to us personally as well. Many small business owners and employers are known to us through years of interacting with them. They are part of our lives and part of the social fabric of our communities. Small businesses are also the engines of innovation and generators of prosperity. And it's small wonder that 90% of businesses across Canada are small businesses. In Ontario, 88% of WSIB registered firms are small businesses, representing 26% of all the covered workforces, which accounts for about 1.26 million Ontarians. 79% of these are micro businesses, meaning, as Rod said earlier, each one of them has 5 or fewer employees. So if you do the math, that adds up to a lot of influence and serious economic weight across the province. It also adds up to a lot of people who need to be able to leave work confident that they will return home healthy and safe. And with the COVID-19 pandemic still a long way from gone, the value of investing in health and safety has never been clearer. Now, we know that most businesses want to do what they can to keep their employees healthy and safe, but not all of them know what they can do. The WSIB is here to help. And with our partners and stakeholders, we are continually expanding our reach to small businesses. We continue to develop health and safety approaches that are tailored to small businesses. And we are developing further pricing incentives to make sure small businesses can take part in the Health and Safety Excellence Program. We're also investing in research that will demonstrate the short and long-term returns on investment for improvements in health and safety. And this research will include the small business perspective. The Small Business Health and Safety Leadership Awards celebrate those businesses that go the extra mile to make sure their employees leave work at the end of the day as healthy and safe as the minute they arrived. I'd like to congratulate not only the winners of the Small Business Health and Safety Awards, but everyone who has had the courage and strength to navigate through this challenging year to make their workplaces as healthy and safe as possible. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Tom. Before proceeding further, I have a question for everyone. For every $1 invested in workplace health and safety, what do you think the potential return on investment is? You can log that answer in your own mind, or you can throw it in the chat. Interested in people that have logged on to this event, what you believe the answer to that question is. And we're going to be talking more about that in a few minutes. But if you want to pop it in the chat, what you think $1 investment in workplace health and safety, what kind of investment that is, please do so. Okay, I'm seeing some dollar amounts come in. Excellent. Thank you for those that are participating here. So, according to the International Social Security Association, the answer is $2.20. $1 invested gives you a return of $2.20. So for those of you who put in that amount, well done. But what this tells us is health and safety is really a smart investment. It's now my pleasure to welcome in Dr. Cameron Mustard for a more in-depth discussion on the return on investment with health and safety. For those of you who don't know Dr. Mustard, he is the president and senior scientist at the Institute for Work and Health. He's also a professor at the Dalla Atlanta School of Public Health at the University of Toronto. Good morning, Dr. Mustard. I've got some questions for you and for folks watching. For those watching, if you want to put your question in the Q&A box, I will keep my eye on that box to see if anyone has any questions. But I'm going to kick things off by asking Dr. Mustard to provide some background on the topic that you're currently researching, Cam.
Hi, Rod. Pleasure to join in the discussion today. You know, we also took note of that estimate of $2.20 as a return on every dollar invested in health and safety. The estimate comes primarily from Europe, and we thought it was important to understand if Ontario employers would gain the same return on investment for their expenditures on employee health and safety. The first thing we did a number of years ago was to work with about 350 Ontario employers to learn what they actually spent to protect the health and safety of employees. We asked employers to speak with us about their expenditures on management and supervision, occupational health and safety training, their expenditures on personal protective equipment. And in this work, we spoke to employers in every economic sector in Ontario, from mining, construction, to public school boards, hospitals, and municipalities. And we spoke to employers both large and small.
Thank you, Dr. Mustard. And what have you found so far in your research?
Well, you know, Rod, I think what we found at first surprised us. And here's what surprised us. Employers in Ontario spend an average of $1,400 per worker per year on occupational health and safety. It's a big number. And as perhaps people in the audience would expect, we saw that employers in the goods producing sector, this manufacturing, construction, mining, have higher expenditures than employers in the service sectors like healthcare and our municipal governments. But it's a big number, $1,400 per worker per year on average. And we think that that expenditure is one of the important reasons why the frequency of work-related injury and illness in Ontario continues to decline.
Yeah, it is a big number, Dr. Mustard. Can you share with us a little bit more on what makes up the return on investment figure that you're seeing?
Thanks, Rod. What we're currently doing is we're working with leading employers in Ontario to estimate, as you say, the financial benefits of their expenditures in worker health protection. We're working with those employers in Ontario who are the most successful in preventing work-related injury and illness. And working with these employers, we're estimating the costs that are avoided when a lost time claim is prevented, but we're also estimating the financial benefits to an employer of a reputation for being best in class in worker safety.
Yeah, so it's a big number in terms of what you're seeing in terms of an investment in health and safety, and it sounds like the return on investment number, it's encouraging. It's encouraging what you're seeing for employers to learn what kind of return on investment they're going to be seeing.
Well, we're certainly finding it interesting. The financial benefits to an employer with a reputation for being best in class in worker safety, some of the outcomes we're calling intangible financial benefits. And what we mean by that is employers that are most successful in protecting the health and safety of their employees receive benefits that are sometimes hard to put a dollar value on. So for example, the benefit of strong employee morale and satisfaction and retention, the benefits that come from the quality of production in a safe work environment, and the benefits that come from an enhanced corporate reputation. And participants in this event today will recognize, if they're in the construction sector, that it's not unusual for a construction contractor, when bidding for work, to demonstrate in part of their bid proposal their record in terms of worker health protection. That's an example of the value of corporate reputation. What we're finding in our work is that employers do recognize these intangible benefits, and they are interested in putting a financial value on those benefits. So we're working with employers to determine perhaps what those financial values could be. As we do this work, we put two numbers together, the avoided costs and the intangible financial benefits, and then we divide that by what the employer's expenditures on occupational health and safety are, and that gives us an estimate on the return on investment. So you're going to ask me, what are we finding? Good question. So these are early days.
I do. Go ahead.
All right, so thanks. So these are early days. We think we can share two observations at this point. First, we're seeing that leading employers that we are working with assign a financial value to the intangible benefits, employee morale, corporate reputation, quality of production. They assign a financial value to the intangible benefits that is at least equal to the financial value of the avoided costs when they prevent a lost time claim. And the second thing is most employers that we're talking to are receiving a return on their investment that's greater than 1. This is work in progress. We haven't finished yet, Rod, but what this means is that they're receiving more than $1 in financial benefits for each dollar they invest in protecting the health of their workers. So I have a question for you.
Go ahead, Dr. Mustard.
So as the lead for the Health and Safety Excellence Program, how do you think this information will be useful to employers in Ontario?
It's a great question. What's interesting is there's actually a question in the chat. I'm just noting that I am following the chat here about the comment in the chat. Is there any research that starts to show that safer companies get more work? And you've touched on this a little bit already, but I will tell you what our team is seeing in working with businesses across the province. To answer your question as well, Dr. Mustard, around how this information is useful to Ontario businesses, we are seeing that those companies that are investing in health and safety have a benefit, particularly during the pandemic, of keeping their employers safer, keeping their customers safer. The public's now looking to businesses for this kind of information and looking at the practices that companies are following to ensure if you're going shopping, you're very interested to know what that business is doing with respect to protecting the customer base. So how we're seeing this information is useful is it's helping them stand out from their competition. It's a differentiator. It's additional value add that companies are seeing by investing in health and safety. So I think sharing this information as you continue with your work around the return on investment is absolutely beneficial to businesses because it gives them greater access to customers across the province, but it's also a real value for those searching for employment, for those that want to ensure that they're working for a safe workplace.
Good. Well, it's been a pleasure speaking with you this morning, Rod.
Thank you, Dr. Mustard, and we'll look forward to staying connected with you on this research as you move forward with it. But this is really insightful for the audience here. I do have one final question for you, if that's okay.
Wow.
And this is also noted in the chat. Is the investment in safety in one area more impactful than others, such as training versus auditing programs? Have you seen anything in your research that could help answer that question, Dr. Mustard?
That is a great question. Man, I wouldn't really have a substantial, clear answer on this. I think every employer that has made investments in worker health protection recognizes the importance of management and supervision. So from the CEO on down to the frontline supervisor, the commitment around making sure workers are safe is probably the most important investment. It's time more than money, but it's probably the most important investment, right?
That's really helpful, Dr. Mustard. And there is a comment in the chat about where people can get access to this research. I will just note that it is not published yet. This is something that Dr. Mustard and his team is continuing to study, but we do appreciate him joining us today and talking about the early findings from this research. I feel confident in saying, Cam, and you can correct me, but that at some point in time in 2021, this would be published research.
It certainly will be, and I know your program will be our partner in making sure the word gets out.
Perfect.
Thanks
Thanks
for
again,
inviting me.
Dr. Mustard. Really appreciate your time. Okay, everyone, we've now come to the main event and the reason we're all here this morning, the opening of the envelopes for the winners of the 2020 Small Business Health and Safety Leadership Awards. A reminder, the people you're about to meet implemented workplace health and safety programs that were judged in a rigorous process to be the most outstanding of the 76 businesses who shared their health and safety stories with us. First up is our bronze level winner who will receive $2,000 to invest towards their health and safety program. I'm now going to ask our chair, Mrs. Whitmore, to open the first envelope and announce the bronze level winner.
Well, thank you very much,
Go ahead,
Rod.
Chair.
And I appreciate having the honor of announcing our bronze level winners. So we have, well, I'm very, very privileged to announce that Ron H. Williams Drainage is the winner of the 2020 Bronze Level Award. They are located in Listowel. They have been in business since 1984. The company currently employs 14 people and provides agricultural drainage systems to clients in Midwestern Ontario. They are also a member of the Health and Safety Excellence Program, and I'm very pleased to say that accepting the award today on behalf of the company is Alicia Williams. Congratulations, Alicia.
Thank you so much. Wow, what an honor to be receiving this award today. First, congratulations to all the other finalists. You know, my husband and I, we bought this business 7 years ago from his family, and we had to start our health and safety program right from the ground up. And to say that was overwhelming is there was a lot to take in at that time. So we hooked up with actually Patricia Cowdery from the WSIB, and honestly, it's thanks to her that we got started and we are doing what we're doing today. The WSPS, we also would like to thank them as well. They have provided us with lots of resources for our small business. And also my father, Tom Polechny, he's been in the health and safety industry my entire life, and because of him, health and safety has been number one in our business since day one. So thank you very much. We're very honored to receive the Bronze Award.
Yes, congratulations, Alicia. And before you go running out with that award through the door behind you, just a quick question for you. How has the pandemic affected your employees' view of health and safety in the workplace?
You know, our employees prior to COVID, they understood that there were hazards within our business. Innately, our business is very hazardous. Our hazards are layered on top of each other. Everything we do, there's a risk. And I think before COVID, they understood the controls we were putting in place, but maybe not exactly why we were doing them. Because of COVID, they see firsthand how important controls are at reducing the risk of spreading the virus, whether that be social distancing or wearing face masks. I think that they understand better now why we are doing what we're doing within our business. And also there's been a lot more communication around health and safety. Every day we have a tailgate talk before we leave our shop, and you know, every day it could be something little as you know, how to work safely that day if it's, you know, weather conditions or you know, there's new regulations with COVID-19. And that daily conversation with them, that communication, I think is the foundation of our health and safety program, and that our employees, they know that they can come and talk to us about things, and especially during COVID, there's a lot of results in our business, whether that be mental health or just the, you know, what happens when they get sick. They know they can come and talk to us. So there has been some positives within COVID, but among all the negatives, but you know, we're doing our best.
You're doing amazing work, Alicia. So congratulations to you again and everyone at Ron H. Williams Drainage. Amazing accomplishment. Thanks for being such a great example of health and safety in our province.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we're going to move on to the next award, and the next up is our silver level winner, who will receive $3,000 to use toward investment in health and safety. Tom, I know you have the envelope ready to see who
I
the
have the
silver
envelope.
level winner.
I have the envelope right
Go
here,
ahead,
Rod.
Tom.
Thank you. It is my pleasure to announce that the silver winner of the 2020 Small Business Health and Safety Awards is Albany Retirement Village of Petrolia. Albany Retirement Village is home to 55 residents and employs 30 people. The company has been operating for more than 20 years and has avoided infectious disease outbreaks over a decade. We're pleased to have with us today Jenna Simpson to accept the award on behalf of Albany Retirement Village. Congratulations, Jenna, and to the entire team at Albany Retirement Village.
Thank you very much. We are so honored to receive this award, and we feel so validated in the challenges that we've been facing and that we continue to face, and the sector continues to face. So thank you so much for highlighting our work and also the work of the sector.
Thank you, Jenna, and congratulations again. A quick follow-up question for you. Obviously, retirement long-term care has been in the news during the pandemic. Can you share with us what was the most important thing that you did to be a health and safety leader during the pandemic?
Thanks for your question, Rod. The most important thing that we have done has been to prioritize the health and safety of our staff and residents at all costs. During the spring lockdown, in order to keep both residents and staff safe, we ordered food from our commercial suppliers for staff and residents so that they could avoid grocery stores. We also added shifts so that we could serve meals in resident rooms to avoid the risks of communal dining. And we filled shifts, created shifts and filled them when we had to cancel personal support workers from the community due to the risks of facility to facility transmission. When it became apparent to us that there were shortages of essential food items in our small town, we started an online platform for community members to purchase bulk food items from our commercial suppliers. We actually filled hundreds of orders for community members, mostly flour, yeast, eggs, bread, and other baking items that were in short supply throughout our county. So our leadership has been inspired by a true commitment to health and safety and the willingness to appropriately fund best practices. Communicating effectively with our stakeholders has created important community buy-in that is critical when facing a communicable disease like COVID-19, because every person's commitment matters. So that's basically, I mean, we did lots of important things. It's been a marathon and it's going to continue to be a marathon. So it's really, I think, our commitment to the cause.
Amazing. Thank you, Jenna, and thanks to everyone at Albany Retirement Village. You are doing amazing work, and thanks for being such a great example to businesses all across the province. Congratulations again.
Thanks, Rod.
Okay, here we are. We are now ready for our gold level announcement. This organization will receive $5,000 to invest in health and safety. And I'm going to turn it over to our chair, Mrs. Whitmore, who has the envelope with the gold level winner in it.
Well, thank you very much, Rod. It is now time for our gold level winner. And I'm very, very pleased to announce that Brick and Company Restoration Limited is the gold level winner of the 2020 Small Business Health and Safety Leadership Awards. They have been in business now for 32 years. They are also a member of the Health and Safety Excellence Program, working with the Grand Valley Construction Association. This construction company is located in Kitchener, where it employs 45 people in repairing, restoring, and preserving properties across Southern Ontario. And I'm very pleased to say that accepting the award today, we have Dawn and we have Michaela there. So everyone, please join me in congratulating the owners and the employees of Brick & Company Restoration Limited on their achievement. And I would now invite you to watch the video highlighting their workplace health and safety accomplishments.
Brick & Company has been around for 30 years. We have about 40 employees.
We like to say that we do building envelope repair. We fix pretty much anything on a building except for the roof. Honestly, health and safety has been a big thing here since before I started. It's always been such a big element of the company. We meet all the standards as outlined in the OHSA, and then we try to go above and beyond it.
I've been with Brick & Co. for about 11 years now. It means quite a bit to me that health and safety is very valued here. It lets me know that I'm going home at the end of the day.
At the start of the pandemic, we had a few jobs that were deemed to be essential service. As the rules for COVID were developed, we had people constantly monitoring the information as it came in, and then we made adjustments.
One of the biggest changes that we have since the beginning of COVID is that when the employees get to the job site, they all need to fill out the employee screening questionnaire. So it asks the standard 4 questions. The foreman will fill out this form for everyone.
Since COVID has happened, a lot has changed. We have signs all over our fencing. We have disinfectant right on site. We wipe down the truck, everything commonly touched, wipe down at the end of the day. We only have a couple people in the trucks now.
We had one job in particular this year that was happening in Windsor. Usually we would have a hotel room that the employees could stay at. With the circumstances, we decided to look into other options.
So we found a house down there that we rented for a month, and each person had their own bedroom. We had 2 kitchens in it. We even went down before they moved in and did our own cleaning just to make sure that the whole house was cleaned to our expectations. Why do I think we should be recognized as a small business health and safety leader? I don't necessarily think that we should be. I think we do what we have to do.
So employee well-being is something that's always been really big for us. We like to take care of our employees as a whole, not just preventing injury on the job site, but making sure that they're leading the lives that they want to be leading and feeling successful and feeling good about their work. And it's also about ensuring that they're finding that wellness in their life as a person.
But wow, congratulations to Brick & Company Restoration, to Michaela and Dawn, and such an amazing accomplishment. I know in the video that you talked about you're doing what you feel you should be doing. But I think most of us would say, wow, you're just an incredible inspiration to other businesses across the province. If everyone was doing what you're doing, we would absolutely have a safer province. So congratulations to you and for what you've accomplished. A quick couple of questions for you, just so we can learn a little bit more about your approach during the pandemic. What would you say to others to encourage other small businesses to invest in health and safety? What would your comments be to them?
First off, thank you so much. We're so honored to receive this award. I think if we could provide advice to others, it would be to always continually improve your program. Safety is not a destination, it's really the journey of getting there, and it's important to always strive to make things better. As we learn more, continue doing your research, continue aiming to make things better, safer for everyone involved.
Absolutely. And Dawn, what does this award mean to you and to your business?
Well, it is an honor. In some ways, it's a bit embarrassing because we don't see
ourselves as being that different from anybody else. We're trying to do our best, take the information that's available to us and make sure we're taking all the precautions possible. As far as what it means to us, it's obviously an honor, and everybody here is quite excited about it.
Thank you so much to both you, Don and Michaela, and to everyone at Brick and Company Restoration for your incredible accomplishment and being a great example for businesses across the province. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
So before we wrap up our awards presentation, I have two requests for all of the winners. First of all, I would strongly encourage you to reinvest the financial awards in health and safety. I know you can put it to great use by improving your already excellent programs. Second, as health and safety ambassadors, don't be modest. Share your good news. Share it on your website, through social media, any way you can. Help get the health and safety message out to your peers in Ontario's small business community. On behalf of the entire WSIB team, congratulations to all the recipients of the 2020 Small Business Health and Safety Leadership Awards. I want to thank all of our nominees, to our chair, our president and CEO, and to Dr. Cameron Mustard for joining us this morning. And thanks to all of you who are working hard every single day to improve health and safety in the province of Ontario. If you want to know more about how you can help, please visit us at wsib.ca/health and safety. And to everyone, thank you again and have a great and safe day.